Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Canon Chatter TV with me, Stephen. Great to be back. We have been off the air now for a few days. When were we last on, Lottie?
Transfer deadline day, 31st of August. So
31st
about 9 days. We've had 9 days break.
Wow. 9 days break, although I think, have you been on anybody else's shows? Or have you had a nice 9-day break?
Nope, I've had a nice 9 days break after the 8-hour shift on deadline day. So I had a nice long break, thankfully.
Brilliant. I was on Ryan's Mr. Arsenal. I was on his 24-hour podcast through Sunday and Monday, which was good fun. But yeah, it's nice to get back to what we do best, which is our own show. So welcome back to Canon Chatter TV, everybody. Tonight it's Norwich, Arsenal versus Norwich, and the start of our season. So do you know what? I think without talking anymore, we'll play the intro and we'll get into it.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing. The first time it's happened.
So good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us again. Slight change to our advertised schedule tonight, and G is not with us. Unfortunately, for anybody that knows, G has been recently moving house, and I think it's just been a long week for him. He's got a banging sore headache tonight, so he let us know a wee while ago there he wasn't feeling up to it. So G, if you are watching this wee bit, turn it off and go back to bed and sort that head out. Doesn't matter though, because I'm joined as always by Lottie, our ever-present co-host. Lottie, how are you today?
I'm good, Stephen. Just had a bit of a bad day, but I've arrived at my favourite part of the day, so I'm happy. I'm glad to be back. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. It's been a long, busy day. It's been a long, busy couple of days for me.
Definitely.
Obviously, yesterday was a bit of a big day. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, first of all, who reached out and wished me a happy birthday yesterday. And obviously there was a few people put together a wee video and stuff for me, which, I was really touched with. And so thank you to everybody. It meant the world to me that, get so many messages and stuff. We've only been doing this for a few months, and I feel like I've met some really good friends on here, and you guys, who join us every week and every show, to get that sort of response was absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting it. And, Lottie and G and Keith, mostly Arsenal Keith, very kindly got me a couple of wee presents as well, which are on display here. They got me this lovely print. A program which is from 3 days after my birth, which was the closest match they could get, and of course my lovely Arsenal third kit with my name and my age, but we'll hide that bit because I don't look 40.
It's a bit late now. Everybody knows.
Yes, everybody knows I'm 40. But
hey, it's an exclusive club for you and Albert JTV. All good.
It is, but you know what? The Guinness keeps me young. That's for you, Easy J. So yeah, thanks again to everybody. It really meant the world to me. And yeah, it was a good day. And today was just a busy day. And as you say, now we get on to the good part. We get to talk about Arsenal, which is what we're all here for. So we'll do a few comments and then we'll get cracking on. Matt, hello people. Hello Matt, the panda. Georgina, evening guys and gals. Evening Georgina, our number one fan. Bunks Lisa.
That's a new one. Hello.
That's a new name in the chat. Yeah, welcome. Jump on the YouTube and give us a subscribe and like the video. David, hi everyone. Hope you're well. Hi David, how are you? And David, thank you very much for the coffees you bought us today. We really appreciate that. Swarit, hello. Wow. How are you?
Stephen, I think it's about 1:30 in the morning in India at the moment. Wow.
He is a top man.
Definitely.
Top man. He's just
Definitely.
making sure I'm still here and that that his t-shirt is on the way. And it is. Weezy J, evening guys, evening Weezy. Chris, hi guys, hope you're well. Keith, evening everyone, hope you're all okay. Has things settled down for you, Keith? Have the kids gone to bed? Georgina, got something new behind you there? Yep, absolutely.
Which one of us, Georgina?
David, hope you had a good birthday, Stephen. I did. Thank you very much, David. Weezy J, Stephen, love the personalised Arsenal top.
Oh, before I forget, Stephen, I really do apologise. I got to say a massive thank you to Jay for helping us out with that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, mate. Really do.
Yes, thank you. Tony, evening team. And hope you had a great birthday, Stephen. I did. Thank you very much. Keith, we live in hope. Give it time. So the kids are still up then. Yeah. Is that a new shirt behind you, Lottie?
Nope, it's not that, G. Sorry. Look on the wall behind my head. That's Keith.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day. I'm assuming you meant to write the word birthday in there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Right. Let's get on to talking about Arsenal. And obviously, last week we had, well, you did 8 hours of streaming on transfer deadline day, which was phenomenal. And for the guys that watched a lot of that, I'm sure every one of them will say you were absolutely fantastic. And although it was a quiet day for Arsenal, there was a number of deals done. But we really only want to talk about Arsenal because that's our team. That's who we care about. And we did do one deal on deadline day. And it sort of came as a wee bit of a surprise. And that was Takahiro Tomiyasu. And obviously, we didn't know a great deal about him. Have you had much time to sort of do any research? And I know you like to do your writing and stuff. Have you had much chance to research him since then?
Do you know what? I haven't touched my laptop over the last 2 weeks. I have done absolutely nothing. I've got quite a bit to do, which I'll probably sit down and do on Sunday. But I've got bits and pieces put together. But from all accounts, he looks pretty decent from like where he's come from, where he started. He's very highly ranked in Japan. It's good to know he's got his visa, so he could be starting tomorrow. But other than that, there's not much further I can elaborate on that at the moment. I've still got a load of research to do, as you said.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all sort of still in the same position. Unless you're an avid follower of Italian football and watch Bologna week in, week out, he's one of them players that we probably don't know an awful lot about. And we always say you can go onto YouTube and you can, watch compilation videos and stuff, but it will make Bentner look world class. But you know what? We have to assume he's a good player. I know your man on Sky TV with his pretending the agent was texting him and he'd been offered every Premier League club, and you can't believe a word them idiots say. But do you know what? I trust that we've bought this guy for a reason. And as you say, he's very, very, very highly thought of out in Japan. Japan have got a pretty decent team, some real quality stars in there. And I think from what I've read on him, the big thing with him is he can defend. He is whilst he can get forward, he is a typical defender. And that's what we really missed, with, I can say his name now because he's not at the club anymore, Bellerin, was not a typical defender. And he lived off his pace at the start, and once that pace went, that was him done and dusted. So hopefully, this guy's going to come in. As you say, he's got his visa, so he potentially can start tomorrow. He's been training, he's been playing, so there's his match fitness should be there. The only thing would be the understanding with the team. But if you've seen the photographs coming out today, it looked very much like a certain 4 were grouped together with black bibs on, learning how to play together. So, and if anything, Norwich are as bad as us. So this is the game to throw him into to get him used to it. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a good chance we see him start tomorrow. Yeah. And I'd be quite excited. Now you're going to be at the game, so you're going to get to see him firsthand.
That's if he starts. If he starts, I hope he does. He has to get the start ahead of Cedric. Has to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise,
Are you excited about going to the game tomorrow?
Do you know what? I am excited about going. It's the first game of our season. We should be winning this. We've got young. Yeah. Most of our players at the moment are quite young, but they're talented. Sorry, and I want to see something form. I want to see the White and Gabriel relationship. I want to see Sambi and Party. That's what I want to see tomorrow. I'd rather Ramsdale be in goal, but who knows who he's gonna pick.
Yeah. Well, we'll come on the team selection in a minute. What I would say, just if anybody is going to the game that follows our channel or our Twitter page or anything, make sure and send in your snaps to myself, Lottie, or G over the weekend before Monday. We'll put together our fans photos segment for Monday night, and I know Lottie will get some photographs for us tomorrow as well. But yeah, anybody else that's in about the game, or even if you find a way to watch the game at home, if you've got a stream or anything of it, and you want to share a photo of how you're enjoying the game, send us a wee picture.
Send us a selfie.
Yeah, send us a selfie, whatever it should be. How you're supporting Arsenal tomorrow. Send the photos in, and we'll put together our fans photo segment for Monday night. So, a couple of comments, and then we'll next bit. Joseph. Party Lukonga tomorrow, so happy, Lottie and Stephen. Yeah, hopefully so. Yes, the frame print. Keith, yeah, we don't give a F about Ronaldo. Couldn't care less. Come on, you Gunners, absolutely. I genuinely don't care about Ronaldo.
No, I don't. I've had to block the Man United stuff comes up in my feed. I've had to block their social media account because every time Ronaldo does something, they have to tweet about it. I'm like, this is boring now. Move on. But there is a team there.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about him, but I did see one funny thing, and it was James Binge, I can't remember how you pronounce his surname, the journalist, had made a comment on Solskjaer, had made a comment about how, when Ronaldo shoots from outside the box, 99 times out of 100, it's on target. And in actual fact, it's only been 29 times out of 100 in the last 4 years when Ronaldo shot from outside the box for Juventus in either the league or the Champions League that it's actually been on target. So do you know what? I don't fear Ronaldo as much as maybe other people will. Don't get me wrong, he's still a fantastic player, but he's been gone from the Premier League for a long time. The Premier League is the toughest league in the world. No matter what anybody says, so
I'm still not sure how. Sorry, go on. No, I still don't know how he's gonna fit in there. I mean, Lukaku's come to Chelsea and he's slotted. We can see that he's already slotted in really nicely, but I'm not sure how Ole's gonna play him. So that's going to be interesting to watch over the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting as well because I mean, you assume he's going to have to start. So what happens with Sancho and Greenwood? Martial, all these players that they have in those positions. I mean, how's Sancho feeling? Thinking he was coming to the club as their big money signing, and he's straight away got overshadowed by Ronaldo coming in.
Might be in the shadows for a bit.
Yeah,
probably. He's got to adjust to here from the Bundesliga anyway. So.
Yeah, David, I don't tend to see highlights from players we sign. You only see the best bits, which does allow you to see what they're capable of. This will be a step up. Hope he starts. Will be nice to see him. Obviously, this is talking about Tommy. David will try and get us some picks. Great stuff, David. Thank you. Unfortunately, I'll be in work when they're playing. Do you know what? Take a wee picture in work. Just don't put the logo in of where you work. We can't advertise it for you. Tony, it's true. The Ronaldo thing is cringe. Chris, Ronaldo is all Sky Sports have tweeted about this week. It's getting boring. I'll be honest with you. I haven't turned Sky Sports on since deadline day. That was the last time. Well, certainly Sky Sports News. I've had Sky Sports on for other bits and pieces, but I certainly haven't put Sky Sports News on since deadline day.
Actually, I think I caught a bit of the women's game on there. So I think it was it on Sky? I don't know. I saw it somewhere, but I think I was out and I was just flicking on my phone watching it. So we beat the Chelsea ladies 3-2, which was a good result on the 5th.
Absolutely. Chris Ronaldo's first goal will be praised like Christ has returned. Jamie, apologies for the worry DM statement point was I expected to happen with players going permanently, didn't loan FC. I'll be honest with you, Jamie, I haven't read it yet. I was preparing a couple of things when you sent it through. I seen it and I thought I'll read it in a minute and then we have to go live. So if I get a wee moment, I'll nip in and have a wee read of it. It will be interesting to see if we get something in January for these players winding down their contracts. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the transfer window again in a wee second when we get through these. Swarit, Lou from Twitter also catching this live stream.
Guna Lulu, she's probably watching. Hello.
Evening. Yeah, Sky. Super League game. Swarit, my brother, who is a Manchester United fan, is very excited with Ronaldo's return. Does he think he's going to have a big impact? You know, I think that's the question. The United fans think he is going to have a big impact. Is he going to make them win the title? And I think that's what it all comes down to. The women's team or something else. Yeah, Keith, absolutely.
Stephen, Medina has now played 110 games. She's had 100 goals in that time. She's now part 100 club. She's the GOAT.
Is there any reason she can't play tomorrow for the men's team?
Because she's a female. I'd quite happily cut her hair off, but you know.
Do you know what? Equality. You know.
Yeah, I know.
It's her game too.
I know. Yep.
Let tomorrow be her game.
No, definitely. It'll be very good.
Sky Sports News, aka Man United TV. Absolutely, Mark. Or anti-Arsenal TV.
Yep.
Either
That's
way.
what it should be called.
So listen, Lottie, we did do a bit of business this window. It wasn't as much as we kind of hoped. So, I mean, I know we talked a wee bit about this after the transfer deadline on our actual show, but for anybody that sort of missed that, sum up our transfer window. What did you make of it? What do you think of these signings we've brought in?
Do you know what? I'm happy with the return of Odegaard. He was a smart buy. Again, Ramsdale, smart buy. As for the likes of Tavares, Tommy, and Sambi, I mean, we didn't know a lot about them. With Tavares and Sambi, I've done my research, and as everybody should know by now, I'm a massive fan of Sambi. I've almost finished his 1920 season now, and I've watched a full season. But yeah, no, I've been following White since he went on loan to Peterborough, so I'm happy with it. I'd give it a solid 6 because we've managed to keep hold of Smith Rowe as well.
Yeah. In terms of outgoings.
Well, we're loan FC, as G said before. I'm disappointed. All these players were meant to be going out, getting rid of, and it just didn't happen. I mean, we see Edu on all these holidays, and we're thinking, what are you doing? You're meant to be selling these players. I mean, some of them should not be here. They should not be extending the contracts. They should be gone. Should not be out on loan. They should be permanently gone. But everybody knows we're desperate to get rid, and they're undercutting us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I thought that there's none of the transfers in I was disappointed with. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I knew a lot about them. You know, Tavares, Tomiyasu, and Sambi. I'll be honest, I wasn't really familiar with any of them. So to sit here and sort of pretend that, oh yeah, I'm really keen that we got them in, I didn't know who they were. So, you know, it was a new thing for me. But having seen what I've seen of Sambi and Tavares so far, they look like good players. You know, they look young, they look hungry, they look keen to get involved. And, you know, that's what we need. And certainly from Tomiyasu, do you know what? I can't remember seeing anybody smile as much in an Arsenal shirt. You know, his photographs. He's you know, he looks absolutely delighted to be at the club.
No, definitely. I think my favourite picture of today, if anybody hasn't had a look at the training pictures, it was of Tomiyasu and Tavares. Like, they were both just massive smiles, and I think Tommy was sitting on Tavaresh's back, and they just looked so happy. So that was one of my favourite pictures. I'll dig it out later and see if I can find it again, because I think I saw it on my Twitter feed somewhere, and I just thought it was a really good picture.
In terms of Odegaard, yeah, as you said, smart buy. He's not, you know, we all kind of wanted the Madisons and stuff like that, and whether there was ever any truth to that or not, we don't know. I certainly wanted a war. We never got him, you know, and he looked like he was going for nothing. You know, so Odegaard, he's still a smart buy. You know, he did affect the performances last season, and hopefully now that, you know, he's here permanently, he'll settle in, and he'll be a good player for us for many years to come. Ramsdale, again, you know, it would be wrong of me to sit here and go, yeah, I really wanted Ramsdale, because, you know, anybody that watched our rumour mill shows will know we all said no. We all said no interest. You know, he's not good enough. He's been playing, you know, in the teams that have been getting relegated. But I think the thing with Ramsdale is that there kind of has to be a bit of perspective with it. And I think it's the same with the whole transfer window. There needs to be a bit of perspective put into place, and I think no matter what happens, we'll always find a reason not to be totally happy. And I kind of, it's a story. I have a friend, and he has the life of it. He has time to read 3 or 4 books a week. He goes to the gym 5-6 days a week. He manages to have sex like twice a day. But yet, every time I speak to him, he moans about being in prison. So, you know, perspective. That's not actually true, by the way. It's just, you know, it's a perspective story. You know, things can look really good, but there can be a downside, or things can look really bad, but there can be an upside.
Definitely.
And certainly the signing of Ramsdale was one of them ones that looked to just be a downside. But from seeing him play, and from hearing, you know, certainly hearing what a lot of fans of former clubs have said about him, you know, maybe there's more to him, and maybe we need to give him the opportunity.
No, definitely. From what we saw at the up at West Brom, he's definitely had I think the best term for it is he's a fans player. I mean, he was celebrating. I don't see Leno celebrating when we score. He does. From the footage, from what I see, I think he's a fans player, and he will like rile up the crowd and things, and that's something we've been missing for a while, I think.
Yeah. Couple of comments here. Let's see where we got to. Keith, haha, that's what I said today. She's so calm. Medema, yeah, absolutely, she's brilliant. Chris, it's when people question our signings of United in the summer, but in reality, 2 of the 3 players United signed probably won't be there in 2 years, while all of ours hopefully will be. Yeah, the other thing as well is if you look at the Varane deal, Varane will actually cost United more over the term of his contract than the total that we have paid for Ben White plus his wages. So in actual fact, the whole deal for Ben White is cheaper for a younger player. Albeit Varane has experience and, you know, is that finished player already, but he's not going to have longevity. And for me, you know, he struggled without Ramos beside him in the Madrid team. So I just don't know how well he'll fit into the Premier League. Joseph, our midfield will be a lot better tomorrow without Elneny and number 34. Absolutely. I love the fact that the number 34 thing's really catching on as well. I was on Ryan's podcast, the 24-hour thing the other day, and it was catching on there as well. People call him number 34.
No, I noticed that. I was watching. I was in the chat. Well, I was like, hang on a minute. It's catching on here. I like this.
Yeah.
I think even Gary's podcast, they started catching on when I was putting it in, because I couldn't sleep the other night, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. I was going, and they were talking about positives about him. And I was like, no, don't do this to me.
No, Cannon Chatter setting a trend.
Yeah.
Do you know what was really cool? Actually, just before going to these comments, We were on that show, and Kevin Campbell came on with us, and I got to chat to Kevin Campbell for a bit. And if anybody wants to, you can go back in and check out the Mr. Arsenal podcast. It was show number 3 from that day, and it's about half hour in. Kevin Campbell comes on, and I got a chance to ask him a few questions, and we were talking to him about number 34, and he is an ex Arsenal player. He's an Arsenal fan, and he slated the life out of him. He was saying, he's not good enough. He's a liability. And as I say, this is what he was saying. It's not verbatim, so this is not word for word, but it's essentially what he was saying was he was not good enough. And, the problem that we have is the same players that were letting us down 5 years ago are letting us down now. And, it was really refreshing to hear an ex-Arsenal player who is in the media. He still does do stuff at the Sky and things like that. But he was willing to come out and say it as it is. He's not one who sugarcoats things because he's worried about whether Arsenal will let him back into the stadium. So it was really refreshing, really nice guy. And hopefully we can get him on this channel someday and have a good proper chat with him. Keith, pity number 34 didn't go. Absolutely. Weezy still in shock with Ben White price. Yeah, it's a lot of money for him, but hopefully it'll work out. But as I say, when you look at it in terms of brand deal, it's not that bad. Scott, morning guys. Never thought a game against Norwich would be so huge, but this one certainly is. Absolutely, Scott, morning. Hope you're well over there in Australia. Chris, players will be sold or contracts cancelled again in January like we did last year. Yeah, quite possibly, but then that should hopefully be the end of it. We'll get rid of the last few that we need to get rid of. And once that's done, hopefully they can start to get things sorted and be a proper club going forward and proper transfer dealings. 100 goals and 0 penalty. Is that right? Has she not taken a single penalty?
Nope, I didn't mention that, but the Panda is right.
Wow. That is phenomenal strike rate.
Yep, out of 100 games, 110 games, I should say, sorry. 110 games.
That Arsenal women's front line is incredible. You consider the players we have, and then to add Nikita Paris in there.
Yeah,
it's frightening.
I'm going to
they've
try
got a
and
good shot of getting their title back this year, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try and get over to some games in Meadow Park to Mark. I'm waiting I've had a look through the fixtures, and they're not back at the Emirates for a while. I think they're going to probably come back to the Emirates for the Man United fixtures. I think the big 6, but the rest of the time they're at Meadow Park. So hopefully get over there. It is in. My mind's gone blank. Come back to me on that in a second, guys. If you remember where Meadow Park is, the Arsenal ladies, please give me a reminder. I've completely forgotten. I know it starts with a B. Boreham Wood. Sorry.
Bournemouth.
It's up in Boreham Wood. It's not too far up. It's up the road from me, basically. Jump in the car and go.
Okay. Swart, will Saka get a start? He's had a busy international break. It's a good question. We'll come on to that in a minute. Chris White, replacement for Louise. Back up left back, so we ain't going to have 34 there. Number 1 summer target, Odegaard was signed, and we got in decent backup players for centre midfield, right back, and goalkeeper. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say that Tomiashi's a backup. I think he will be the first choice starting right back. Matt, problem is our squad isn't big enough or to ship players out for naff money. I don't know.
You know what? To trim the players that aren't good enough, I'd just sell them. I did try to sell 34 for a curly whirly packet of Monster Munch, and I think Georgina wanted to. I think it was El Neni we tried to sell for 2 choices. So, we tried on transfer day, deadline day.
Bloody don't go there. Please don't go there. I don't want another show where dedicated to which flavour of Monster Munch.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I didn't even say the flavour this time, so I just said Monster Munch.
Matt, playing Tomiyasu can allow us to go from 4 at the back in a game to 5 if we need to. Yeah, absolutely. Although that depends who's in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, my only problem with transfers is Laka, Eddie, and El Neni will leave for FO at the end of the season. Yeah, more than likely. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think this hopefully will be the last season that we see this, because it can't continue on. we know the position we're in, but we can't continue to let players leave for free or terminate contracts. We just can't do it. And I can't see the owners, I can't see Josh or Stan Kroenke putting up with it much longer. I think they appreciate the fact we need to get rid of the dead wood, and that they've allowed them to terminate some of these contracts and to give let players go for free. But at some point, they're going to say, no, it's just not how you run a business. It can't happen anymore. And at that point, Eddie will struggle. I mean, for me, I said before, I thought Eddie should have gone for this summer. I think, he got let down, or he let us down badly by not selling some of these players and not getting rid of them sooner. Why, if they'd gone to Willian at the start of the season or start of the summer and said, if you're not happy, you can go. Was it transfer deadline before we were terminating his contract? To me, it's just not good enough. Chris, the problem we had, we was linked with so many players, so the ones we did sign that didn't sound as good, fans should stop listening to AFC Bell with their fantasy links and moan when Madison don't sign. Yeah, I mean, there are so many people that claim to be in the know. But you know what? We did a whole series of shows on it over the summer, so without them, we wouldn't have had those shows. So I can't really knock them too much. We still think they should have accepted the bid from Palace for Eddie. Apparently they did accept the bid. It was actually Eddie couldn't agree terms with them. So there was a deal agreed. It was actually Nketiah himself that stopped that deal from happening. He was looking too much money. Keith, the American girl, she meant to be good.
Tobin, yeah, she's very good. She's very good. I'm so excited. We got her, believe we got her in a free. Very excited about her. Winner. Yep, very, very excited about her. And she's an Arsenal fan, which makes it even better. She's one of our own and always has been.
I think we may have to look at covering the women's game a wee bit more going forward.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I believe it's more on Arsenal player this season, so I'm going to try and watch it where I can. So I think we definitely should consider that. I mean, it's going to be a very good season for them.
I mean, if anybody watching is particularly keen and watches all the games and would like to maybe get involved with the channel and do a wee bit, I know Lottie had sort of said about it before, and I'm going to be completely open and honest with everybody. When we brought Lottie in to join the channel, she had said about possibly doing that, and my concern was I didn't want people to think that we were pigeonholing Lottie into only looking at women's stuff, because Lottie's knowledge and opinion on the men's game it's second to none, and I didn't want people to think that we were bringing in a token girl to talk about girls' football or women's football, because that's absolutely not what Lottie's here for. So if somebody else would like to get involved with the channel and give us updates and regular chats and stuff about the women's game, get in touch with me, get in touch with Lottie, and we'll see what we can do. We'd love to get somebody else on board who maybe have a wee look at that.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely an option. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of the women, but I know of the players. So, guys, if you want to come join us, let me or Stephen know.
Yeah. Chris, but you offered pickled onion and Roma wanted flaming hot. No. Joseph, Lottie, even Terrera, Gandozi, Mavropanos haven't gone permanently.
Don't say that middle name to me. I don't. I'm so disappointed.
I think Mavropanos is the only one that's gone with a guaranteed sort of, it's a
mandatory buy. Yeah, the rest, the other two can come back.
Yeah.
And, I don't mind Terrera coming back. The other one, no. I mean, he's already kicked off in France. They're not going to keep him.
Yeah. Suarez, I can't believe that Eddie is missing out to play under an Invincible. It could have been a big move for him. Absolutely.
Yeah. To be fair, they have got a decent signing in his place. I will say that. They have got a decent signing in his place. So he's the one who's cut his nose off to spite his face, in my opinion. Yeah,
absolutely. Chris, I still think Eddie is trying to get rid of and sort out the mess he was left by the Gazidis reign in charge. A lot of these players were signed in. He's having to get rid of them. Yeah, I mean, we're victims of the previous regime. Weezy J, seriously, the women's team will give the men's squad a run for their money. I watched the Chelsea and seriously, they played awesome. They're definitely going to be in the run for the title. Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Lottie is here for the stats and quizzes. Mark, I know Tobin Heath is 33 and played 175 times for USA, but she is still class. She was United's best player last season.
Nice. She's still one of our own, though.
And Katie Lottie knows a lot more than some of the blokes. She does, absolutely. We know that, and that's why she's here, and that's why we love her. So, right, let's move on and talk about something else. So, before obviously we go into the Norwich game, a couple of other sort of things have cropped up, and one of them is this guy, Jack Wilshere. And obviously the talk, Arteta was asked the question, could Jack come back and train with Arsenal? And people sort of put 2 and 2 together, and would we offer him a contract to come back and play? I mean, for me, I'm sort of going to put my bit in first here. I'm quite happy for him to come and train. No problem with that. In terms of coming back as a player, do you know what? I love Jack Wilshere. I absolutely loved him as a player. His passion, his love of the club. And, that day when he stood up on I think it was the top of the bus, wasn't it, with the microphone? And
it's outside the Emirates. I was there.
I'd say the Emirates I can't quite remember it, but,
It's on top
I
of the
do remember.
armory.
Yeah, I can picture it in my head. He's wearing the bucket hat, and, what do we think of Spurs starts, and he's the one leading it. He's a massive fan favourite from that point of view. And I remember watching him coming through as a kid, and I remember him, it was the Emirates Cup, and he was playing against Rangers, and him flicking the ball over players' heads and, doing all sorts of stuff. And you were just thinking, he's just, his ceiling is so high, but he just got plagued by injuries, and he's never hit the heights that he could have hit. And he's 29 now. And realistically, could he do a job for us? I don't think so. I think, we've got Odegaard, we've got Smith Rowe. I think the future's here. We don't need to look to the past. That's my personal opinion on it. Lolly, what do you think?
Well, I kind of got mixed. I put a tweet out on this yesterday or the day before, just to get like a general feel across Arsenal as well. And I got a really mixed bag of responses from people. I had a lot of pay-as-you-play contracts, a lot of no's and a lot of yeses. So it's a mixed feeling across the board. But for me, he can kind of train, but as much as I loved him, I absolutely adored him when he first came about, because obviously he's my age, and at that age to see someone that's same age as you starting in that lineup is just incredible. But I'm at the point where it's too late for you. You've been played by injuries. We give you this contract, you go off injured, it's more money in the bin. So possibly a pay-as-you-play contract, but at the same time, as you just said, we want to look forward, not backwards.
Yeah. I mean, I think, even if you look after we won the FA Cup and they started this always forward slogan, for me, that kind of says it all. You guys in the chat, what do you think? Let us know. Just before I find where we are with the comments here, if you haven't hit the like button on the video, make sure and do that now, please. Love to get this to over 20 likes while we're live on the air. Katie, Lottie knows a lot, but more than some of the blokes. David, hasn't Jack trained with us before when he didn't have any contract? I think he may well have done.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing something in the papers.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were putting 2 and 2 together because he played with Arteta, and he's an Arsenal fan and stuff, and realistically, we probably could do with one more in midfield. So, it's Keith, Lottie, better looks as well. Yeah, better looking. Absolutely. There are a lot of blokes on a lot of these channels that I don't want to sit and look at. So, yeah. But do you know what? Lottie, you could be the ugliest person in the world and we'd still love you and have you on the channel every time.
Yay, at least we feel great. Thank you, Stephen.
Your family. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I know. And I'm privileged to have big brothers like you two. Honestly, I really do.
David, it could be worth giving him a pay-as-you-play kind of contract if we ever did need him. Wheezy Jack is always going to be one of us, but to play, I don't know because he's injury prone. That's the only problem. Yeah, but let him train with the lads. Yeah, the thing about him training with the lads is because he is an Arsenal man through and through. Maybe he could instill that bit of passion into them that we keep saying is lacking. Maybe someone like him could come in, but then at the same time, you're almost then sort of saying, well, he come in and coach, but he's 29. Do we really want him coming in as a coach? He still has something to offer a team. That's the thing.
The question is anyone going to sign him?
Well, this is it. Somebody needs to take a chance on him. Chris Train, yes, signs a player. I would say no. What he's going to bring to the team, he will be another one sitting around collecting wages, sentimental squad member. We've had plenty of those before. Yeah, absolutely. I am in a tendency to agree. The pay as you play, possibly, but again, he needs a permanent deal somewhere. I think he could still, if he could stay fit, offer something to the club. Matt Jack should be back, help with the kids on a pay-as-you-play contract, and help getting a coaching license. So yeah, I mean, if it's what he wants to do, if he does have an interest in coaching, then yeah, there's potential for that. But I still think, as I say, I'll say it again, I still think that even if it was the Championship, or one of the lower end Premier League teams, I think he could still do a job for them and offer something. Jack over 34. No, I think I say 28 or 29.
Same age as me. So 20. Well, I'm 29 in a month as of yesterday. So not quite the same age.
Smart. Lottie is awesome. Lottie and Stephen, I read today Arteta want 4-3-3 formation with Partey, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, but no Lokonga. It said. Yeah, I mean, I think he wants to move to a 4-3-3, so it'll be interesting to see how he fits the lineup. I know me and Chris were talking about that earlier on. Pay as you play is no good, as in all honesty, would he really get in the team? I think he would get the bench for some games, but no, I don't think he would start an awful lot of games. He meant Jack over 30. Yeah, well, to be fair, I'd play Lottie over 34.
I know, but in the midfield, you need to play me in number 2 space. Sorry, but Tommy's there now, so I wouldn't even get picked.
All right, I'd play me over 34, and I can't run the length of myself. So, Jack to play instead of 34. Apologies, David. I took that the wrong way. So yeah, okay. Another one then that obviously hasn't been finalised, and that there is talk of, because he was released by them lot up the road. Serge Aurier is a free agent, and there is talk that Arsenal are potentially interested in bringing him in as another right back option. What do you think of this?
Do you know what? He's another liability. He's rash. He makes wrong decisions, and that lot up the road, a nightmare with him. But the funny side would be that it would be Judas number 2, which is just always on the icing on the cake for any of us, I think. Do I think they're going to see that again? No. I know I said I'd have him for his talent, but he's a liability. That's the only thing. He's another 34. Rash decision, goes in the wrong way. But when he's having a good game, I'd have to say yes. But he's not consistent for me.
Yeah, he was a better player at PSG, and that lot ruined him. The only thing is, as you said before, he's an Arsenal supporter, and it would be another one to sort of be won over on them. Is he better than Cedric? Probably.
Oof. Yeah, I yes. Subject.
Is he better than Maitland-Niles at right back? I don't know, but then does Maitland-Niles really want to play right back? It's a tough one. Because what it would do if anything happens to Tommy, if he gets injured, Cedric's still there, so for me, I don't see the merit in bringing him in when we have got Cedric and Ainsley Maitland-Niles there. You know,
The
it's
only-
another wage for someone that how often are they going to play?
Thing is with Cedric, he's going to end up isolating Pepe if he's up on the right wing. The guy doesn't go forward; he panics under pressure, so it can't be a bad thing, can it?
Well, who knows? What do you guys in the chat think? Keith, my mum's better than number 34. Sign her up.
Go in the shirt, Keith.
And considering, Keith, you're only 25, you know that your mum's probably not much older than me. Joseph, would you play backwards and sideways, Stephen and Lottie? No, I only ever went forward.
Yeah.
You would play the Tony Adams statue over 34. Yeah. I probably would, Chris.
That's
The
quite
honorary
amazing.
statue over 34.
Ryan's on.
Ryan, I'm better than 34. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, we've already plugged your show a couple of times, but do you know what? If you're still here, do me a favor, drop in the chat the link to the charity. So just a quick one again. Obviously, Ryan did a 24-hour podcast on Sunday through to Monday to help raise funds for Tony, isn't it? The Sooner Gunner. To help get his new prosthetic leg. He needs to raise 10,000. I can't remember if it's $10,000 or £10,000, but you know, Tony did it, or Ryan did a fantastic thing doing this podcast, and had some great guests on. And as I've already said, you know, Kevin Campbell was on there, and it was a great show, and it was a pleasure to be involved in it. So if anybody has, you know, a couple of pounds spare, please jump on either to Ryan's Twitter, or if he is on here, if you can drop the link in, and donate a couple of quid if you can, it'd be much appreciated. Keith, no, obviously doesn't want Aurier. Diana Church, that's a new name. Lulu. Don't know what that's about.
Unless that is her.
Sorry?
Unless that is her.
Could well be. I don't know. If it is, let us know. Keith, I'm better than Cedric. Only joking. May well be. Do you know, I thought Cedric was all right when he first came in, but yeah, I've changed my mind. Chris, the new Sol Campbell, but not consistent enough. We would sign him just for the sake of it, as he's available. How many more right backs do we need?
Exactly. It's not like we've got rid of number 2, is it?
Yeah, Jamie, remember AFCON? Yeah, I mean, we could lose quite a few players.
Yep.
Joseph, what kind of reaction do you think number 34 will get, Lottie, especially after his recent sending off?
Do you know what? Ask me that after the Arsenal 2-1 game on the 26th. I'm going, and I'll let you know, because obviously that's the game he's meant to return, unfortunately. Ask me that again, Joseph.
It'll be interesting to see how we fare over the next 3 games without him, because I mean, at the end of it, if we win 3 games out of 3 and we look good, he can't walk straight back into the team. He just can't.
Oh, but we know he will. That's the problem. We know he will.
Keith, if he's really a gunner and he's played for them a lot, I'd question his character, because if they offered me a contract, I'd say, nah, mate, I'm off to the job centre. You say that, Keith, but here's the thing. He went there, and he's been there for about 4 years, and he's been crap. So maybe that was his plan, was just to go and take their money, and actually, you know, bleed them dry and be crap for them. So maybe he's a true fan, and it was sabotage from the inside. Swara, Lou sends her love for number 34. She says that she loves him.
Oh, we know she's married, Swara. They're married, we know.
If you could just take him and keep him on honeymoon, that would be great. Keith, you did have a trial at Charlton. Wow, we'll have to get you on the show Sunday and have a chat about that and let us know what that was like. Cedric seemed to play better on the left for me. Yeah, I would say so. Breaking news, Dani Alves has left Sao Paulo. Worth a punt, the freebie. No, he needs to retire now. Aurier would be worse than 34. Yeah, 34 will just come straight back into the team. The fans wouldn't do it, but Arteta will. Possibly, David, possibly. As I say, if we win all the games and we look convincing, I just can't see how he can walk straight back in. Keith, you make a compelling point, Mr. Best. Thank you. And Chris, Sammy and Party need to step up, but honestly, I think 34 is the first name on Arteta's team sheet. I really want to say you're wrong, Chris. I really do, but I can't. And that's the sad thing. I can't say you're wrong. So, while Lottie has a wee crunch and whatever she's crunching on there, I'm just going to...
I do apologise, guys. I've got my Hello Pandas. I couldn't resist. Sorry, guys. I won't have any more. I think that was the last one anyway.
Right.
Sorry, Stephen.
That's all right. I think that's kind of all the news and bits and pieces that's been going on. So I think it's, we'll come back in a wee second and we'll talk about what we're really here to talk about, which is the game tomorrow. So we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute. So we're back, and yeah, it's time to talk about this Norwich game tomorrow. So, I mean, we've said it before, and plenty of people have said it. Our season has to start now. We can jokingly say, and I jokingly say, we've given the other teams 3 games head start, so it's time for us to start and play. We can argue that we didn't expect to get anything from the City and Chelsea games, but we should have got something from Brentford. There's all sorts of things we can say. The reality is none of it matters. We have to get 3 points tomorrow. We have to start our season and we have to start climbing up that table. We are the Arsenal Football Club. We do not belong at the bottom of the league. We belong at the top of the league. We belong fighting for the league title. Not making up the top 8. We belong right at the summit, right at the top of the league. And it's time that we start to go back that direction. So with that said, we'll read a couple of these comments and then Lottie will have a look at your team for tomorrow and who you've got in your lineup. Suarez will, yes, our start along with Odegaard and Pepe if Saka doesn't get a start. So we'll look at that in a minute. Joseph, I actually was fuming when Arteta didn't slate him after the red. Yeah.
We all was, I think.
Yeah. I will say that I think Arteta has learnt from the Pepe incident and will not publicly slate his players anymore. So, it's one of them things. So that's right, Keith. Thing is, 34 will cost Arteta his job. He may well do if he persists in playing him. Keith, at least they're not pickled onion monster munch that you're eating, Lottie. Chris, 34 and Leno, first 2 he puts on the sheet every game. They're the only 2 that consistently play every game if available. And you know what? We're going to come on to that because I want to have a conversation about Leno and Ramsdale after. So we'll come back to that in a wee minute. Relegation 6-pointer. Yeah. TSG22_HD. Hello, I'm going tomorrow with my mum and her friend, and I will be losing my voice shouting at the players. Send us some photos, please.
I think that's a new name, Stephen.
Yeah, that's another new name. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure and subscribe. Drop a like on the video, and send myself or Lottie on Twitter some pictures from tomorrow. We do a thing, we try to do a thing every so often. Fans photos. So send us some of your photos from the game. I'm not VIU. Okay. Keith, tomorrow's first day of the season for me. We started on -9 as our handicap to give everyone else a chance. Absolutely. TSG22_HD going to North London Derby. Georgina's score predictions. We'll come on to that at the end. We always do that at the end, Georgina. You know that. You're the #1 fan of the show. You know how it runs. I'm not going to North London Derby game. Okay. And Chris, remember Mike Oxmall. I've said it just so you can have your moment. We will win the next 8 games, and what G said if they do. That's right. What did G say? I'm trying to remember.
Oh god, he said he was going to get some sort of tattoo. If I remember
Was it?
rightly. Yeah, it was a tattoo of something. Chris,
Right,
can you remind
okay.
us what it was? I think it was a tattoo.
Yeah,
I'd have to
otherwise
go back and look.
and watch that show again. All right, Lottie. So we'll come on to tomorrow, and talk us through your lineup, your predicted lineup. The only thing I don't want you to talk about is the goalkeeper, okay, and your reasons behind picking Ramsdale. So we'll come on to that after. But if you can talk us through the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, this is what I'd like to see. It's not what Arteta's going to do. Obviously, Gabriel and White are back in full training. From what I was reading yesterday, so I'd love to see them two start because that's the one partnership of the centre backs I do really want to see. And I want to see it to be blossom. Because as we all know, our back four, they don't have that relationship yet. And I think I said this the other day, Stephen. We need to do a sort of Wenger style training and tie them up with a rope so they all move together, sort of thing. Obviously, Kieran's there because he's just my preferred choice at the moment, and he is one of my favourites. Over at right back, I put in Tommy. I think this is the ideal game to make him start, rather than wait for Tottenham to come along. Do apologise for swearing there, guys. So I think it's just an ideal game for him to show us what he's got. In the middle, I've got the best possible partnership. I'm desperate to see. It's Sambi and Party. It's the one thing I am looking forward to. And then the next four are pretty self-explanatory. Although I've now looked at Saka and thought about it, probably will be. I'm kind of leaning towards Smith Rowe because of Saka's on a busy international duty break sort of thing. But yeah, no. Hopefully, Aubameyang's firing on all cylinders tomorrow. I really hope he is because he seemed to be back at the Carabao Cup, and then he kind of dropped off the map, so to speak. But he looked good at the Chelsea game, and I'm hoping he can get on the scoreboard and we can reduce that goal difference and get that back up to a positive number with some ups because Norwich still didn't replace Emi Buendia. I think the only problems with them would be the right hand side, going down the right hand side with Max Aaron's there. But other than that, we shouldn't be hesitating. We should be going straight in for the kill for this 6-pointer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with anything on that. Are you saying you think it's going to be Smith Rowe instead of Saka?
Yeah, I'm now sitting here thinking I'm now questioning will Saka get the start on the left because he's been busy over the international break.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't have him burning out. That's my only concern with him at the moment.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't play for England in the last game.
I don't think so. I did not watch any of the games because I knew what was coming and I wasn't going to get myself upset about it.
If I'm right in thinking that last game England played was Poland, it was a 1-1 draw,
yep.
And I don't think Southgate made any subs, and he had changed the 11 from the game before, so I don't think Saka played midweek.
Mm-hmm.
So he may have been training with England.
Mm-hmm.
Which he would have been doing at Arsenal anyway. He would have been training, so he hasn't had a game for a week.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility he plays. But yeah, I mean it's a fairly similar lineup that I've seen from a lot of people. And guys in the chat, drop your lineup in there now. Let us know. TSC 22 on the 22nd. I'm going to a music festival in Stratham. Arteta in tattoo. That's what it was. That's
there
right.
we go. There we go. G,
Jimmy
if you're
thought-
watching, we have the bot.
When attacking, it will be a 3-2-5, like the Klopp tactics, with some of the Pep tactic together as well. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see Lukonga and Partey as well. They should control the midfield very well. Hopefully he will play them both. Although I think Lukonga was one of them ones that was late back from international duty. So it'll be interesting. Partey to only play 60 minutes max. Every time he's injured, he gets thrown into the thick of it and injured again, or start on the bench and let Ainsley Maitland-Niles in his place and bring him on the second half. And I want to come on to that in a wee second. Smith Rowe has been ill. Yeah, he was. He was sent home from England. Not injured, but ill. Although he was back in training, I believe, today.
Yeah, there was photographs of him in training, so it's a 75% chance for him to start tomorrow, I think.
Saka didn't play. Do you think Thomas Partey is ready, Lottie? As he has lots of injuries. I think Lottie is pretty spot on with the team. I'd be very happy if this is the lineup. Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to the Partey thing, and I sort of in the thumbnail for this video had made a comment on that of, will he play? Should he be thrown straight back in? We seem to throw him straight back in. He plays a couple of games and then he's out again. And we need him. We need him to really step up this year. Is it too soon to throw him back in, or is Norwich a good game to throw him back in for, as Matt had said, sort of 60 minutes max? Give him a bit of game time and then pull him off.
I think I'd go between 65 and 70 minutes and then pull him off. I mean, Norwich are going to be up for this. They're going to be physical. That's how they play. So, and then obviously they're going to know about who's returning from injury and who's not. And he, in terms of with that physical play, they will go after him if they can get the ball off him. So maybe 65, 70 minutes, get him off, and then get someone in there as long as we are winning. Touch wood. Touch wood.
Yeah.
But other than that, Matt was right. Was it Matt? Sorry, I do apologise, Stephen. I can't see the comments on my phone. But Matt was right. He does get injured pretty quickly if we throw him straight back in.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. It really is. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, probably Norwich's strongest place is their midfield. They have the likes of Todd Cantwell. They've brought in Billy Gilmore from Chelsea, who's a good wee player. Made the Scottish squad for the Euros, having never played a game for Scotland. So they've got a good wee. I don't know. Like wee pit bulls, they're those wee guys. Just they'll run and they'll run and they'll run and they'll tackle and they'll challenge and they'll hunt you down and they'll not give you space. And I just don't know if we need that on Partey right now. If we need him to be under pressure, we need him to have a bit of time on the ball and to have that bit of space while he's getting his fitness back. So it's a difficult one. What I'm going to do.
Sorry, I'm going to ask you everyone. Would you have Maitland-Niles and Sambi start together with the likes of Billy Gilmore around? As you said, he's a bit like a pit bull, but it's a tricky one because you can't just throw Sambi's. Don't get me wrong, Sambi's a great little player, but he's not Premier League proven yet, and that's the problem. You can't expect him to be there. He's 21. Maitland-Niles is what, 22, 23, or a bit older. I can't remember how old he is off the top of my head. But he hasn't got that experience that Partey does. So with our favourite, I mean this with the greatest sarcasm, out for the next 3 games, there is no experience there.
Well, you see, you say this, and I'm going to say something that I know you're going to hate. I know you're going to hate what I'm about to say.
No, go on.
But
go on.
If Partey isn't ready to play, I would be inclined to put Elneny in.
He's injured though.
He's not. He was training.
It said on my last Arsenal news, the latest news, he was not playing. He was injured.
Really?
So that's news to me. Yep.
All right. Well, maybe he is injured. I thought
That
he
was the
was. I
last
thought
interview I read.
yeah.
Guys in the
We-
chat, can you just confirm that if you've read anything like in the last couple of hours? Because the last
Yeah,
time I read, he was injured.
Georgina's already out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think Joseph was the one who told me he's out.
All right.
so-
Well, then that changes it. I mean, then yeah. I mean, that leaves us Party, Maitland-Niles, and Sambi. So we've only got 3.
Exactly.
So yeah, you kind of almost have to play him. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up. G had done the team that he believed Arteta would pick. So anybody that isn't familiar with our preview and review shows, what me and G used to do when it was just me and him on the channel was G would pick the team that he would like to see, and I always picked the team that I thought Arteta would play. So to avoid having 3 selections to go through, Lottie had picked the team that she would like to see, and G was picking the team that he thought Arteta would pick. And I don't know if you've seen this or not yet, Lottie, or if you and G had discussed anything.
No, I haven't spoken to G today. So. Oh wow. That matches
Your
mine.
teams are exactly the same, except for the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't want you to talk about the goalkeeper, because that is the only place you have differed. So, I mean, G thinks that Arteta is going to go with the team you've selected. And based on the information, that if Elneny's out, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to throw Party in. I don't think you can go with that midfield of Maitland-Niles and Sambi. I think you have to throw Party in for that experience. And I think Saka will play. He's had a week since a game, and he's another one that's just bundles of energy. Doesn't seem to bother him. So I think he will play, and I think Pepe will play on the other side. So I mean, yeah, I think these have both pretty much got the team spot on. The only
we need a
thing,
strong side, so we're going to pick the strongest players, especially the ones that are back.
Yeah.
So
the only surprise that I think he could throw, and Chris and me were actually talking about this earlier on, and Chris had suggested that we potentially play a back 5, and you take Sambi out of that team basically and put Mari into the 5 at the back. And that could be the only difference, and have Gabriel, White, and Mari as your 3 at the back, and then Tierney and Tommy up and down the wings, with Party as a lone midfielder, and Odegaard then just sort of sitting a little bit deeper. That's potentially one. It's hard to know, because we sat every game last season and predicted what Arteta was going to do, and invariably he changed it, and you just don't know. I would love to see Arteta pick a team and stick with it and get some consistency with it. But he seems to like to pick a team based on who we're playing rather than based on the players that we have. And I personally think that's the wrong way to go. I think you need to have a sort of set team that know they're going to be the team. And if they get changed, it's because their form has dipped. But we just don't know. So yeah, I mean, as I say, he's picked the exact same team. The only difference was your goalkeepers. And we'll come on to that in a wee sec. I just want to read a couple of these comments before they get backed up again. Where have we got to? Spot on. Do we not play the same week or same team with Ben White and Gabriel today? Possibly. I can't remember. Chris shared, yeah, that's what we're talking about. 3 at the back. Get game time in an academy match.
yeah, no, he was in it. If I remember rightly, I spotted it. I think you watched that game, and I said Joel Gabriel's back, and you said you were watching it.
Oh
The
yes, yes.
academy game. Was he in the back 3? Can you remember off the top of your head?
I can't.
I remember him being captain that day. actually.
Yeah, he only played the first half,
Hmm.
Gabriel. Norwich can't defend. Ryan will get the link, and it's dollars. You both made my job very easy today doing the graphics. Yeah, Chris does obviously those lineup graphics for us, and he only had to change one thing. This is the link. I am not seeing the link, but okay. It may be in there. I just can't see it.
Sort of finger pointing up.
Okay. What we'll do, I'll see if I can copy the link and put it in the description of this video later. Anyway, and if not, as I say, drop into the Mr. Arsenal Twitter page, and Ryan will have it on there. Played 3 at the back in that friendly against Brentford during the break. Yeah, where we beat them 4-0, I think it was. Arsenal 3, Norwich 1, I think, from Joseph. Concentrate on your own game, not the opposition. The defensive formation has to remain settled, whether it's 4 or 3/5. I prefer 3/5. Antonio woke up at 5 a.m. It's now 5 p.m. and I'm just heading to my house. Help me, please. Okay. So yeah, as I said, the only difference then was between you and G's team was the choice of goalkeeper. So how come you went for Ramsdale over Leno?
Do you know what? I moan about Leno week in, week out. I wanted something different. I think Sheffield managed to have a clean sheet against Norwich. No, hang on, a while back. I remember seeing the game, and he was quite good, and he didn't have the best defense in front of him. But I think if Arteta goes with what we've all basically picked for the back four, I think he stands half a chance of having a decent game. I remember seeing Leno a bit upset at the Carabao Cup, sitting on the bench, and he wasn't starting. He actually looked fuming. I think he needs a couple more lessons like that to step his game up, because Ramsdale's coming for that number 1 spot. And there's a lot of, from more conversation I've had, I can see him having that spot before Christmas. Some people have said October. I'm going to go with Christmas. He's going to take that number 1 spot off him, and he's not going to like it. He's going to have to start working a lot harder if he wants to remain where he is. I mean, he panics under pressure. Yes, he's okay when he's on his line, but a lot of the time he's off his line. He's shaky with the ball with his feet, and I don't trust him. I really don't trust him. Full stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I think he is. Obviously, he's the future of our goalkeeping position. Until he messes up badly and we end up having to buy another goalkeeper. But I do think, Leno has 2 seasons left on his contract, and I think he is on his way out the door. And I think obviously Ramsdale was brought in to very much to replace him. How soon he does that, I don't know. I heard rumours that he was told he was going to start tomorrow, and that was, as early as sort of like a week and a half ago. As I say, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I can understand why G has gone for Leno, in the sense that he is the number 1. Leno, as I've said time and time again, he's not the goalkeeper we thought we were getting. He's not that world-class goalkeeper, but he's still a decent keeper. He does make silly mistakes. He's not as confident with the ball at his feet, and his distribution isn't as quick. That's the one thing I would say. In favour of going for Ramsdale tomorrow, again, it's another one of those, we're playing, no disrespect to Norwich, but arguably lesser opposition. I mean, they've conceded 10 goals. They've actually conceded 1 goal more than us, but they're higher in the league because they've actually scored a goal, whereas we haven't. So, we should be beating Norwich, and we should be beating Norwich comfortably. So maybe tomorrow is the sort of game that you put Ramsdale in, and you give him a Premier League game to see what he can do, because it's all well and good and doing it in the Carabao Cup against West Bromwich Albion's under-21 team, but we need to know that he can play with these players in the Premier League. So I mean, I would arguably say put him in tomorrow, but I can understand why G, when he's predicting Arteta's lineup, has gone for Leno in goal, because he is the number one. But it's good that he's got a bit of competition this season, and hopefully that will raise Leno's game, because certainly Runnerson last season was not competition for Leno, and I think that was very evident that Leno switched off completely because he knew he was not going to lose his place in that team to Runnerson. Keith's mum probably better than Runnerson. So, he wasn't going to lose his place. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one that, that was really the only difference between what you were going for and what G was predicting. So as it stands, this one I'm about to bring up makes really grim reading. Bottom of the league, it's a horrible sight to see. And what makes it even worse is that lot up the road are sitting at the top.
Oh, sorry, my vision's gone. Who's at the top again? Can't see it. Too small. It's okay.
Some club that play on a toilet bowl.
Okay. Oh, what? Oh, you mean Two Bob Mob? I know who you're talking about now.
But do you know what? It's still early. It's only 3 games in, and that can turn around very, very quickly.
I mean, they were there last Christmas, weren't they?
Well, that's it. And they all think they've won the league already. So
exactly. It's all right. Harry Kane's go missing in April. He's always injured at that time, and he's off for about a month. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Right, a couple of comments before we move on to our score predictions. Then, Leno puts the likes of number 34, Mari, in a lot of trouble with them balls he passes in our box. He does, absolutely, and I never have any confidence in him when he gets the ball at his feet. I just want him to get rid of it. Keith, hey, at Judge Dredd, the law, all good, yeah. You have your private conversation there. Antonio, I do believe we'll win tomorrow 2-0, but there will be many questions that will be answered tomorrow. Won't get into SSD specifics, as I don't want to start a debate, but I'm keeping the faith. Start a debate, that's what we're here for. It'd be great to see Ramsdale starting tomorrow and show that he has the right replacement for Leno when he leaves. Yeah, absolutely, Weezy. Yeah, have your conversation in your own time. I'm only joking. Chris, Leno is good at the Hollywood save, but his concentration seems not there. The Everton game last season showed that he only had one thing to do and messed it up. Yeah, but then so did number 34, and he just got skinned alive playing at left back. Can we reverse that table?
Yeah, all we've got to do is turn it upside down. No.
Do you know what? By the end of the season, it'll be reversed anyway. We will finish above them. Mark, Leno won't sign a new contract. Should be number 2. I think there's a chance that he goes January. If not, he'll be away by next summer. Definitely. Matt, Leno can't play out from the back. His decision making is absolute poop. Yeah. The one thing I liked about Ramsdale in that West Brom game was the speed at which he distributed the ball.
Yeah.
And that was going back to when we were under Wenger. The ball was distributed from the back quickly, and we got on the counter attack quickly. What you find with Leno is he dithers on the ball.
He hesitates, and it drives me nuts.
I know the whole idea is we're trying to suck the opposition players in. We're trying to get them to come on to us to create a space in behind so Leno can pass the ball out through them. But it's not working because other teams know that. They know exactly what we're doing, so they're not coming on quickly. And it's giving them time to regroup and get the right shape to come at us. Whereas if we just get the ball out and start moving it and going forward and hitting them on the break, we've got the players that have got the skills to do it. Okay. Get the ball out and just get on with the game. Chris, only 7 points off top 4. That's it. Positives. Keith, my mum was a wicked goalkeeper, better than Leno, and she's 74. I may have lied about my age, Soz. What? You're not 25, Keith?
Legend.
Suarez, Leno playing from the back is very risky. I really don't like that. Yeah. Wheezy, dear God, seriously, it's so hard to look at the league table and see Arsenal in 20th. It just breaks my heart.
Jay, just turn the table upside down. You'll feel better.
That's it. Just hold the newspaper the wrong way around. Suarez, for a change, I would love to see Arsenal scoring goals in the Premier League. They should against Norwich. Yeah. And with that said, I think it's time to go for score predictions. So you guys drop your score predictions in the chat. We obviously have our predictor league, which I'm not going to give us an update on because we're only 3 games in, and to be honest, I need to sit and update it all. Lottie, what is your score prediction for tomorrow?
I'm going to go 3-0 to us. And just Aubameyang was looking good at Chelsea, and was it really? I turned off at half time for City. I can't comment on that, but yeah, he was at the Chelsea game. I was right at the back with Jay, and we could see him feeding off our energy. If we can get that energy in the ground tomorrow, I think he'll be firing on all cylinders. Absolutely all cylinders. I'm going to go for Aubameyang to score, Saka, Odegaard assist, and maybe a Pepe goal as well.
Okay, so 3-0. Keith's agreeing with you there. 3-0 the Glorious Gunners.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, you're a massive fan of number 34, really, Stephen? Do you know what? I have to admit it, Joseph. Seriously, I am. I love number 34. I love him so much that I am personally willing to drive him to the airport. 3-1 to the Arsenal, Joseph. Okay. David, 4-0 to Arsenal. Weezy J, 2-1 the Arsenal. Spar at 3-0. Ramsdale will keep us a clean sheet. Mark, 4-0 depending on what team Arteta starts with. Antonio, 2-0 to the Arsenal. Yeah, okay. Keep them coming in. So yeah, if you've watched the show regularly, you'll have seen this season we've started to do a predictor league. I'm going to say I don't have the updates on it because I need to actually sit and fill the whole spreadsheet in. But what we're doing is we will predict the scores, myself, G, and Lottie. And if you get the correct score, you get 3 points. If you get the correct result, you get 1 point. And obviously, if you're completely wrong, you get no points. We also each week ask a guest, so whether they're on the show or whether it's just one of you guys who are watching, to predict the score on behalf of the guests. And what's going to happen is at the end of the season, if I win, Lottie and G are going to club together and buy me a nice bottle of whiskey. If G wins, me and Lottie will club together and buy G a bottle of brandy, I think it is. And if Lottie wins, me and G will club together and buy Lottie a bottle of tequila rosé, I believe it was she wanted.
Yep.
And if the guests win, the 3 of us will club together the money that we would have paid and probably a little bit more, and we'll donate it to a charity as just a goodwill thing. But what we're also doing is at the start of the season, I deposited £38 into my Sky Bet account. And each week, the guest picks, whoever's picking on behalf of the guest, that scoreline that the guest has picked, I put a £1 bet on. And whatever money we win at the end of the season will again go to a charity. And we haven't decided on the charity yet. We'll decide that sort of towards the end of the season when we see if there actually is any money, because so far we haven't won a penny. So this week, on behalf of the fans, Lottie and G decided last night that as it was my birthday yesterday, that they wanted me to have that honour this week. So thank you for that. So I'm going to be predicting on behalf of myself and on the guests this week. And today I placed a £1 bet on 4-0 to Arsenal. So I thought, saying I was 40, we had to use the 4 and the O. So I've gone 4-0 to Arsenal. The odds were 18-1. So if we win that bet, we will get £19 back to go towards charity. So fingers crossed we get a 4-0 win tomorrow. Chris, 5-0 to Arsenal. Odegaard to get 2, Saka, Pepe and Tommy debut goal like Cedric did against them. Mark, the only 34 I read is my local Chinese.
Brilliant. Oh gosh, keep the jokes
Odegaard and
coming.
Tommy, FPL points, please. LOL, I was thinking 3-0. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it seems everybody's fairly confident we're going to pick up a win tomorrow, which it's great to hear.
I just hope he picks the right team.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you're watching obviously live, drop a like on the video now if you haven't already. If you're watching this back later on, still drop a like on it. I think we're on about 22 likes. Let's see if we can hit 25 by the end of the show. What have we got to talk about now? Oh, I don't know. What have we got to talk about? We are running, for anybody that doesn't know, we have got a like and share contest going on Twitter at the minute, just in case anybody hasn't seen it. Thanks to our sponsor, Dan at the Matchday Shop, we have a signed Thierry Henry boot from a recent signing to give away. So I'm just going to bring this up. To enter, you'd like and retweet the tweet that's on, and if you're struggling with it, it is the pinned tweet on the Cannon Chatter page. And you have to follow the match day and follow ourselves, and the winner will be drawn live on our Arsenal Spurs preview show on the 24th of September. So if you haven't done it already, get on there, like, retweet and follow the match day and follow Cannon Chatter, and be in with a chance of winning a Thierry Henry boot. I know that in the match day, I have a feeling £240 rings a bell in terms of how much these normally go for. So I think that's the sort of value that Dan charges for signed Thierry Henry boot. So, you know, this is it's a good price that we've got. Make sure and get in there and get involved in that one. Couple of comments, and then Lottie will give us a bit of an update on fantasy football. David, great minds think alike. Stephen 4-0, 18-1 is good odds. Absolutely. Norwich are rubbish. Chris, language. They are my choice to be bottom at the end of the season. Joseph, what do you think of the style of football, Lottie and Stephen? I think very sideways football at times. It is. I mean, it's not exciting to watch, but we haven't had a full strength team, you know, so it'll be interesting to see now that Arteta has a lot more players that he wants, albeit we still need a few more, and there's still more changes to be made to this squad, but it's starting to take shape to what he wants. So it'll be interesting to see if, when we get these players playing together, if the style of play becomes a bit more entertaining. And not quite as sideways, if we become a little bit more attack-minded. It'll be interesting to see how Tommy fits into this. You know, is he going to give us more attacking options down the right? Because certainly at the minute, everything goes down the left. And it's very predictable. So, you know, if he can bring a bit of diversity to it and give us a bit more option going down the right-hand side, I think it could be a lot better. Your thoughts, Lottie?
No, I'm totally with you. But again, bit of YouTube watching and hearing from Bungle, who's sometimes in the chat from Japan. He likes to get forward, and that's something that could be interesting because Pepe won't be isolated because Cedric won't be there. So we'll just have to wait and see what he brings to the table in the next few games, I think.
Absolutely. So I like to retweet this tweet already. Fingers crossed for this one. Yeah, and we will post it to you if you win. Even though I know how much postage costs. But John, it's funny. Sorry, go ahead.
I believe Gary's entered from the US as well, and I think Antonio has as well. So
do you know what?
And so is Scott, actually.
Yeah, it's open to anybody anywhere in the world. We will post it anywhere in the world.
Yep.
The only reason I'm saying that is just to swear at myself. We have a running joke there. We obviously are selling now. We do sell our t-shirts and our hoodies and stuff. and the site that we get from advertised they do worldwide delivery. So Swarat had ordered one, and we had all sorted. I went to place the order, and when I went to do the worldwide delivery, Swarat lives over in India, and unfortunately India isn't included in their worldwide delivery. So we've had to go a roundabout way to get him his t-shirt, but it is on its way to him. So that's just as I say, it was just a little joke. We will, obviously, this competition is open for anybody, anywhere in the world, because we have people from all over the world watch this show, so they have to be able to have the chance to win the prizes. Matt, I reckon Tommy asked you debut goal, 2-0 win. Chris, it's sideways football because of my Leno comment you missed earlier about how slow he is playing out the ball and letting the opponents get back into positions.
Hesitation. It's not confident. It's a hesitation that kills. That's what kills us at the moment. It's hesitation from players. It drives me nuts.
Weezy, is anyone looking to go to Burnley game next week? As tickets are still available, but I don't know if I want to make the 4-hour trip from London.
I think that's sold out now. I was on there yesterday, said it was sold out.
Okay. Right, Lottie, give us an update on the fantasy football, please.
So tomorrow's deadline for Game Week 4 is tomorrow at 11 a.m. because the Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace game kicks off at 12:30 with the 2 Bob Mob. So 11 o'clock is your deadline to have your team sorted. At the moment, we've got Smoky Barbecue at the top, also known as Peter Williams at 254 points. And the other good news at the moment is we finally sorted some prizes out. For the first place winner this year, we've got an Arsenal plaque coming. That you will also get a Cannon Chatter hoodie as well as a mug. But for the runner-up, we will have a mug and Cannon Chatter t-shirt to send to you. And as you can see, Stephen's modelling it for us now. The other updates at the moment is I'm currently sitting in 63rd place. Stephen's climbed the ladder and has hit 141, which is really good. And then also G's also climbed the ladder as well. He's now sitting in 177th place in our league. So let's see what Game Week 4 brings.
Yeah, I still have my substitute to make, so I'm going to have a look at that after the show tonight.
Mm-hmm.
David, I'm panicking in FPL. I've already used my wild card, and for this week, I've used my free hit.
It's okay, David. You'll get a new one you get a new wild card in January. It's time. No need to panic. It's time.
Chris Ronaldo and Keane are now valued the same. Don't know if I should make that change.
I haven't got either of them, so I can't really comment on it.
Yeah, I see.
What do you think, Stephen?
I don't know. I haven't got either of them on my team, so I noticed who was it? Tony, aka Mr. Silver Fox, had put up a tweet earlier on saying that he's got like a jinx when it comes to fantasy football. So he's put Ronaldo in and captained them. So hopefully he'll jinx them.
Oh, do you know what? For captaining this week, I quite fancy Lukaku. He's going up against Aston Villa. Aston Villa do not have Emi Martinez. I fancy it, but he's actually 75%. Not
They also don't have
playing at the moment. No
Buendia as well for Villa.
Yeah, exactly. So Chelsea are going to have an absolute field day with them, I think. But I'm thinking captaining Lukaku for those reasons. But there's also Antonio. He's been Mr. Reliable so far. He's raided my points in. So, and then again, Salah lights a goal against Leeds. So who do I choose? I don't know where to start. Guys, let me know who you're captaining this week. It'd be very interesting to see who we're all going for.
Ryan saying if Lee and Stephen finish in the top 2 come the end of the season, I'm calling it a fix. You know what? I'm calling it a fix as well because there ain't no way I'm finishing in the top 2. So.
No, definitely. As you heard me earlier, like our top player at the moment is 254 points. I'm literally probably 60 points behind, and I'd have to use all my hits to catch up. So, but I'm waiting for that double game week, and then I'll rake in my points.
I will say, Ryan, I know why you're saying that, but I'm a man of my word, and I will guarantee that those prizes will be coming. And I know you're only messing, so don't be worrying. Swear I'm 110 in Cannon Chatter League.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Keep going.
It's great when people know where they're sitting.
Mhm.
Mark, don't forget to drop Lukaku. He's very doubtful, right?
A
I was not aware.
75% chance of playing, according to the FPL scout. They expect him to play. DCL is in the same position, but DCL has been on training this week. So I
Has it,
could
right?
have 2 forwards out this week, and I really can't afford that.
Because funny, I took Calvert-Lewin out and replaced him with Bamford earlier on.
Mhm.
I substituted him in because I had Bamford on my bench.
Mhm.
So I might put DCL back in then.
Yeah. The thing is, if you sub out your midfielder or defender, Stephen, you have the extra forward
Yeah, I might do that.
if you wanted it.
David's captain Ronaldo, but just for his
Ooh.
free hit.
He could have a field day though. He's got an easy fixture.
Chris, I stuck Fernandez in for Kevin De Bruyne, so I'm not sure I need another United player.
Sell Fernandez. Ronaldo's going to be the penalty taker from now on. We all know that.
Yeah. Ryan, all right. Mark, David, I think Lukaku may miss the game. It showed him as a doubt.
I haven't seen the Chelsea updates yet, so we'll see.
So Suarez still going for Salah as his captain.
He ghosted me, but I can't do that. He ghosted.
Mark and Ryan having their own wee chat here. Mark's good, Ryan. Fernandez is captain for me. Keane is vice captain for Chris. Okay. Mike, haven't seen you in the chat for a while, Mike. How are you?
Yeah.
Evening, Cannon team. Mark Green, Antonio. I'm not bad. Dreading tomorrow. Jimmy, those guys and girl in the top 20 were West Ham heavy in the early weeks, and lots used the triple captain.
Have you been looking at it then, Jamie? I haven't looked, so.
Ryan's not too sure who to make captain, Ronaldo or Antonio.
Yeah.
Mark saying have confidence, Ryan, and David, I'm in 171 for Fantasy League. All right.
David, you're ahead of G. Let's see who's going to finish on top out of those two.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, Lottie. I think we're getting sort of towards the end of things. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything we've missed?
Not at the moment. I think that's everything, really. I'm just excited for tomorrow.
Okay.
Back at the Emirates again.
Yeah. Listen, as we said before, guys, if you're going tomorrow, take some photographs, send them through to myself, Stephen, it's at Cannon Chatter is the Twitter account is the main one, or at SB Cannon Chatter, or through to at Lottie_B with 2 I's because somebody else beat her to it. 2 I's, 2 T's. Send us through the pictures, or as I say, if you're watching at home, if you're streaming it or whatever you're doing, just send us some pictures of how you're watching the game. And we'll put them into our fans photos segment for Monday night. We will be back on Monday night, obviously, with our review show. Any last comments or questions, drop them in the chat now. Lottie, will you give us a wee run through on the socials?
Yep, sure. If you want to follow us on Facebook, go to your search bar and just type in Cannon Chatter. We should come straight up. Or if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's Cannon_Chatter. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's all right, no worries. If you want to follow us on Twitter, as Stephen's just said, the main account is at Cannon Chatter. If you want to follow Stephen, it's at SB Cannon Chatter. If you want to follow G, who's not here tonight, it's at G Talks Arsenal. Or if you want to follow me, it's at Lottie_B, 2 T's and 2 I's, because as Stephen said, someone beat me to it. Also, I am currently working on a load of blogs. I am very behind. As you can imagine, writing about City and Chelsea is very hard without using profanity language. So they will be coming out very soon, as well as some stuff on Ramsdale and Tomiyasu. But if you want to relive any of the games that I think I've only got the first matchup on there, if you want to go relive that and have a read, more than welcome to. There's also a player profile on there. It's lottieafc.blogspot.co.uk. If you want to purchase a Cannon Chatter t-shirt or hoodies, you can email info@cannonchatter.com, or you can DM Stephen at sbcannonchatter on Twitter. Lastly, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications, and hit that like button, because we love you coming back, and this is why we're here.
Absolutely. And thank you to anybody who's obviously watching with us live. If you've been with us since the start of the show, thank you. You know, we love the fact that you guys come on and interact with us so much. It's funny, when G wasn't coming on tonight, I said to Lottie, it'll be a quicker show because, you know, a lot of times, much as I love G, sometimes he talks and I have to try and sort of give him a little signal to wrap it up so we can move on. But we kind of thought it'd be a quicker show, but you guys interact so much and we love it. You know, it's brilliant. So a few more comments before we wrap things up. Where have we got to? Suarez. No Buendia this match day because of the quarantine regulations, so I'm keeping him on the bench. He got 10 points last match day. Yeah, I'm the same. I've had to drop him on the bench.
Almost sold him, but he came through for me on game week 3. Came through, which is brilliant.
Yeah. Mike, yeah, all good. I'm still deciding whether to keep Vardy as captain, considering if he can't score past Scott Carson, he's probably as good as finished. Never count against Vardy. That's what I would say. Mark, will Ronaldo start though? I'm just going to give it 1 week before I take Fernandes. I have a funny feeling he won't start tomorrow. I think he'll come off the bench, and then he'll start from then on in.
Thing is, United are away tomorrow, no? So I think they'll probably save the start for when he returns.
Yeah,
home.
Back to Old Trafford. Chris just changed mine. DCL and Fernandes out. Gundogan and Ronaldo in.
Nice.
Okay. Georgina, I'll happily ping through some photos when I get to the Emirates in a week and a bit. Yeah,
yes, definitely.
Game, isn't that?
Yep, I'm catching up with G as well. I can't wait to catch up with her.
Yeah,
she's only a few blocks away.
We obviously need to have a chat, Georgina, Lottie, myself, about that other game potentially in November.
Definitely.
And see what we're going to do about that. Potentially get over for that one. Matt used his wild card, as Lottie knows, 1 week too early. I think Ronaldo will start on the bench tomorrow. Mike, I need to look at the changes I want to make, though. Anyone being brave and captaining any of our guys, I think it'd be a good one, but we also don't have any idea who will play. I haven't captained anybody, but I have put White back into my team. Purely because Reece James is suspended, so I had to take him out. But I've put White back in. So, David, let's hope for a good win tomorrow. Thanks for the show. No problem. Thanks for joining us, David. Lukaku seems to be fit, according to Chelsea team news. So Matt's captain for the week. United are at home tomorrow, Lottie.
Oh, okay.
Jamie Carson is a 4 million bargain.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris was going to go to the Wimbledon game, but now working that night.
It's a shame.
Cool. Where are you working, Chris? Right. Okay. We're going to do Stephen's final thought tonight. So I'm going to do that in a wee minute. So while I'm just getting that sort of sorted out, Lottie, have you any last sort of comments or anything you want to make?
Come on, the Arsenal.
Really, you could drag it out a wee bit there for me.
No, that's fine. Oh, guys, seriously though, we really want your fan photos in. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to post it. We're gonna have to show a load of mine again. I want to see yours. I want to see your selfies and your shirts. Please give us some more photos so we don't have to use all of mine. So I can just choose the good ones of the wonderful lot I'm going with. Like, even if you're down the pub with your mates, just get a selfie. Get a selfie in the screen, whichever. We just want to see how you guys are watching the games, even if you're not going to the games like I am, or if you're at home like Stephen is. That's what we want to see. We want to get you guys more involved. Other than that, just remember the team deadline for FPL is 11 a.m. tomorrow. After 11 a.m. you will not be able to change it until game 5.
Brilliant. We're at 23 likes so far for the video. If we could get 2 more you nice people to drop us a quick like and get us to 25 before we go off air. That would be fantastic. Mike might be going to the AFC Dons game in a few weeks in the Cup, hopefully. If you are, obviously Lottie and G will be there. You could potentially all meet up. I'll probably end up there. Chris is going to be working night shifts at Kingston University. Okay, well done. Good stuff. Great show as usual, guys. Come on, you Gunners. Thank you, Keith and Chris. And yes, United are at home against Newcastle.
Ooh, field day.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm going to finish it with I haven't done this for a while. Let me just take that off. Stephen's final thought. Firstly, just before I do my final thought, I want to say thank you to everybody who's watched tonight. If you're watching live, thank you. If you're watching this back later on, thank you. The show will be available on Spotify. So obviously, it'll probably be on there from tomorrow. If anybody wants to have a listen in, let people know that our shows are all going to be on Spotify from now on. So if you can't make the live and you don't have a chance to watch it back on YouTube, you can listen to it during the week when you're out and about, if you're out for a walk or whatever. Have a listen, tell your friends, get them involved. And yeah, that's kind of that. So yeah, my final thought, I have some stuff going on personally, and I'm not going to share that with you, but I have been doing a lot of thinking about certain stuff lately. And I came across a tweet earlier on, and it got me thinking about sort of how precious life is and stuff. And I hadn't realized until I seen this that this is an anniversary today. So I'm going to read this tweet, and at that I'm going to end the show when I finish reading the tweet. But it's something to ponder and something to think about. On this day, 20 years ago, 246 people went to sleep in preparation for their morning flights. 2,606 people went to sleep in preparation for work in the morning. 343 firefighters went to sleep in preparation for their morning shift. 60 police officers went to sleep in preparation for morning patrol. 8 paramedics went to sleep in preparation for the morning shift. None of them saw past 10 a.m., September 11th, 2001. In one single moment, life may never be the same. As you live and enjoy the breaths you take every day, today and tonight, before you go to sleep in preparation for your life tomorrow, kiss the loved ones, snuggle a little tighter, and never take 1 second of your life for granted. And with that, I'll say goodnight.